Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's just finished Manchester City 3, West Ham United. Erling Haaland breaking the Premier League goal scoring record in the process as well. Gonzo, let's just jump straight to half-time. What were you feeling at half-time? 0-0. What were you thinking?
Much better than I expected at half-time, I have to say, particularly given the sort of mishmash nature of the team. I thought we battled really well. I thought Downs and Paqueta, without really creating anything, had made a really good sort of fist of it, of playing as a central midfield pairing, which we're probably not going to ever play that much together as a two. Thought they did. They both were quite industrious and did really well. I thought we were defending things pretty well. I thought Soufal was doing well against Grealish. Ogbonna was clearing loads of stuff. Kera was playing well. And I did. And I thought Antonio, whilst there wasn't a lot to feed off, I mean, Antonio was playing more left than central. And I thought he was doing remarkably well. I thought all in all, we limited them to very few chances, really. I was pleased with what I saw at half-time.
Yeah, so was I, actually. I thought tactically, I thought we got it spot on. I thought defensively, we were looking good. We were looking well organised, very disciplined. But we weren't afraid to press either. If Man City were outside their 18-yarder, we weren't afraid to go toe-to-toe. Often you could see the four of them in a line, Emerson, Fornals, Antonio, and Jared Bowen, they'd all be standing in a line up against Manchester City's defence and go and then pass it. Then when Man City got to the halfway line, we retreated to the edge of our 18-yarder. I thought tactically that was a very clever thing to do. I thought the players were playing really well. In possession, we attacked with a bit of a whimper, but there was promising spells, mainly through Antonio. You felt like if you get Antonio running at one of the centre-backs, you'd have a chance. Diaz should have got booked, which would have potentially changed the way that it could defend against Antonio. But at half-time, I was delighted. My concern was, and it wasn't to do with us, it was to do with Man City. You felt they had another couple of gears that could have went up. It felt a little bit slow and pedestrian from them in the first 45. But saying that, a large part of that was because of how well we were defending, how difficult we were making it for them. Fabianski obviously had a couple of top saves in the first half as well. But all in all, I was pleased, especially when, you know, if we believe the bug thing for a moment here, and that Souček, Rice and Aguerd turned round and went home at 2 o'clock today, that you'd imagine all three of them were set to start today. Yeah. I'd imagine the formation would have been the same, but take Downs out, take possibly Ogbonna out of the team, and I don't know who else, Fornals probably. Yeah. But I'd imagine he would have started those three players. So to have to change the team at short notice, and they would have been training with that team ahead of today's game, etc. I was pleased with what I've seen. But it didn't last long, Gonzo. 5 minutes into the second half, it was 1-0. Nathan Ake.
Yeah, a bit of a mix-up. I mean, it's a shame, really, with the free kick. It has to be said, it was a bit of a clumsy tackle from Downs. That being said, but I thought he'd made a really good tackle on Grealish from a very similar area in the first half. So I don't blame him for making it. It's a sort of tackle that Declan Rice does get right, though, time after time, and comes away with the ball. So, but you know what? It's like one of those things. There's still a lot that could be done to thwart the goal. I sort of wouldn't mind it so much if it was Haaland or Diaz, but Ake's not a big bloke anyway, and you know, for him to be, you know, for us to get outdone by the offside as well was one thing, but also there was a situation where Ake actually pushed Ogbonna. I thought Ogbonna was a little bit bullied. Actually, if you look at that goal again, there was a double push, two of them. But it went push and another one push. There was double push on Ogbonna. Not saying it was a foul. It was a goal. I thought Ogbonna, you know, should have been better there, but it was just a shame. It's a shame as we've been good with set pieces and both defending and attacking them. So it's a shame to get undone by that when we'd actually done so well in open play where I thought we were going to struggle. It's a shame to get outdone with a set play, you know?
Yeah, Caswell giving the ball away, which is frustrating because you can't afford to do those mistakes. And like you said, it's a bit unnecessary from Flynn Downs. Yes, Grealish is running at the goal, but he's not shaping up to shooting anyway. And he'd done that a few times in the first half and done okay. And it just gives the free kick away. But at that point, you've got a chance to defend it. You've got an opportunity there to keep him out. And, you know, we've only conceded 3 from set pieces before tonight. So you'd expect it's on our side. And it's just poor from Ogbonna. Like you said, A, he drops back deeper than everyone else quickly. And B, he gets bullied a little bit by Ake. You can see the players all turning to Ogbonna, saying, what have you done that for? Why have you gone in? You can see Creswell saying we were all meant to be standing here. And at the end of the day, as much of a leader Ogbonna is, Caswell's one with the captain's armband on tonight. And if the captain's saying that that's where you're standing, then that's where you're standing.
Yeah.
Saying that, if the ball come in and Ogbonna flicked it behind the corner, we said, oh, good defending. He's used it, experience there, etc. Sure. But he didn't. His man scored the goal, and he was the one that kept him on side. So it becomes poor defending by Ogbonna immediately. Yeah. But from then on, Gonzo, I felt like the heads dropped straight away. It felt inevitable City were going to score. But it's all very well me and you thinking that. But I think it's different. It felt like the players were thinking that as well. It was almost like a case of as soon as they went in, they went, oh, well, then that was always going to happen kind of thing. But we had to wait 20 minutes before it was 2-0, and this was inevitable. Erling Haaland.
Yeah, yes, it was. He did finish it really nicely, actually, didn't he? Let's be fair. I mean, yeah, look, we gave the ball away, and it was very, very sloppy, and in a position where someone with their back to goal, you don't want to have their back to goal, quite frankly. You know, this is it's a real shame because Antonio's gone off at that point, and actually had Antonio still been on, ironically, I didn't think he looked tired. I thought Antonio was still fresh. And coping well, actually. And I think maybe Antonio would suggest that he didn't want to go off either at that point. But he didn't look tired. He really didn't. And that ball played into Antonio, or dare I say Skamaka, or any target man, doesn't, with their back to goal, they shield it, they lay it off, and that just doesn't happen. You know, it's just another indicator. I mean, I'll discuss it in more detail tomorrow, but it's just another indicator of Ings not in his position where he's most effective. And, you know, that's not his gig. That's not his game. I have some sympathy, really, for him being in that position, but it was woeful technique. It's all very well. I was going to sit here and say he needs to be stronger. He's not. He's a little bloke, and it's as simple as that. He can't play with his back to goal, and that, by and large, I think is what then happens thereafter. I think is very, very hard then to mitigate, because you're then in a race. Haaland's in a race. The ball is played into space in front of him. The ball was dispatched exactly when it should have been dispatched. Ironically, we had a similar situation in the second half where Paqueta should have released the ball to Antonio, and it didn't. You got right on the line, and the ball never came. So, you know, fair play to City for releasing that ball. And Haaland, he's got all the stuff, and he's got the pass, he's got the height. He's got the strength and all the rest of it, but he's also got a really deft touch, as he showed there, and he did it really, really well. But a very avoidable goal.
Yeah, it was frustrating, really, because we'd almost been faultless until this point to some extent. We've been working hard, we stayed disciplined, and yes, we're 1-0 down, but there's 20 minutes on the clock, and you've got a little bit of a chance there. Well, I said a little bit, I didn't really believe it, but anything could happen, kind of thing. When it's 1-0, anything can happen. The ball into Ings and the layoffs from crap. Fornals, I mean, the more you watch it, he passes to where Fornals is, but by the time it's halfway to Danny Ings, Fornals has already started moving, and Ings plays it to where Fornals is, and it's just horrific from him. The pass from Danny Ings is really, really bad. Johnson's now 30 yards out of position because we're in possession of the ball, and rightfully so, as a right wing back, he's decided to venture up the pitch. That's what he should be doing. Ball comes to Grealish. Kerr has to go out to him, and then that leaves all the space in for Erling Haaland to run and sit Ogbonna. Come on, then let's race. And there was only ever going to be one winner, and a top class finish from him. But like you said, avoidable. It just come through our own mistakes. And the most frustrating thing about it is it's a substitute that's done it. There's nothing I hate more. Well, there's plenty of things, but one of my biggest pet hates in football is when the 11 players that start the game give 100%. They're working. They're giving everything. They're running themselves into the ground. They're doing pretty much everything right. And someone comes off the bench and makes an error, that then concedes a goal. Because I think that 11 players, well, the 10 players that are on the pitch must want to swing for them. And they must be thinking the same when they're looking at Danny Ings going, what have you just done, mate? Antonio's been perfect for the hour or whatever he was on for. 66 minutes, I think Antonio was on for. You've been on the pitch 4 minutes and we're 2-0 down because of you already. And it really, really does bug me when things like that happen. You've got to come on. You've got to be up to speed rapidly. Same with Ben Johnson. When he came on, straight away, Grealish had him. It was just stupid from Johnson. The one thing Grealish wants you to do is go close him down and get close to him. So Ben Johnson ran right up to him. He didn't even stop. He didn't even break stride or nothing. He just kept running. And Grealish thought, hey, have a bit of that kind of thing. And it's incredibly frustrating. 3-0, Phil Foden.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bit unlucky, to be perfectly honest with you. I felt a bit for the keeper and felt a bit for Emerson. I thought had played well.
Oh, I hate defenders like that go on, just
What
turning their back on the
turn
shot.
his back?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah, but
it's a half-hearted leap and block. It's just a bit. Oh, I'll just do something for the sake of it. He almost doesn't want the ball to hit him.
no, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe an element of protecting his face, but I thought he did all right, and I still think it was still unlucky. He still did get something on it, and it was unlucky that it ricocheted in the way that it did. But I mean, again, quite predictable by then, and I was I was sort of I took 3-0 then because they got into position to almost score a fourth then really, and I think it was what can you say? We had gone by that point, and Moyes is then making substitutions with Man City in mind. I took Antonio and Bowen, long overdue substitution of Bowen earlier on. I felt, which was probably quite important as well. It's just surprised he didn't take Paqueta off as well, because Paqueta had given up by that point anyway. I know he had a shot at the end, which would probably sort of contradict what I'm saying there, but I'm quite.
No, but we saw this against Palace, where when we've got the ball, Paqueta's interested and his tail's up. As soon as we lose it, he can't be arsed.
Yeah, I'm quite comfortable in my comment that Paqueta had given up by that point. He had, and I needed to see the second replay of why he was down for so long. Not for me, mate. Actually didn't even kick him. The ball was between the two of them. There was nothing that would have caused any sort of pain or anything there at all. It was an opportunity for him to sit down and roll around and hope that the ball went out of play. Then a little bit later on, I just thought he's gone. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that he played all game like that. I really don't. I actually thought in the first half, I thought him and Downs sat there quite nicely and tried to do their stuff as much as you can do with 21% possession, of course. But at that point, I was just thinking, was that Lanzini was on the bench, right? Was that yeah. At that point, whenever it might have been, 69 minutes, whatever, get him off. If you're going to do Antonio and you're going to do Bowen, get Paqueta off as well, and just get Lanzini on there. The game's gone. We weren't attacking enough to get back into it at that point. 2-0 down. Just do it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but 3-0. What can I say? Quite predictable, isn't it?
Yeah, I think because it's predictable, it takes the edge off it a little bit. I mean, I mean, what are you thinking right now? Just write it off and we go again against Man United, kind of thing. Or?
Yeah, I'm not even annoyed, Gio. I'm not even annoyed. We were actually better than I thought we were a bit. I mean, I honestly thought we were going to keep it tight in the first half, and then we'd probably lose by that sort of margin. That's what I thought. That's what I thought was going to happen. I actually thought we were a little bit better in the first half. I even allowed myself a little cheeky little bit of hope at one point, but of course he can't. And I it was gone. It was gone as soon as the hope was there. It had disappeared. No, of course we can't defend like this for 90 minutes against Man City. Not because it's us, and not for any David Moyes reasons or for anything like that. I thought Fabianski made some good saves. Bono was playing well. Kieran was really good. Soufal was having a good battle with Grealish. It was okay. I thought Emerson was doing really well down that left-hand side. It's just you can't keep doing that all game long. And particularly, with only one of the attacking three firing as well, you almost need all three to be really snappy on that counter attack, which clearly wasn't happening. So, it's on to Man United. I don't. What can I say? It wasn't. We didn't get absolutely hammered. It's 3-0 minus 13 goal difference. Maybe got that right. That's okay. That's still manageable at the moment. So I still think our goal difference is quite healthy.
Yeah, but the problem is Leicester's goal difference is not too far off ours now. Yeah. I think there's only 3 goals in it or something, and that's the only team we're really one up on. Like the other teams are so far behind, it's not going to catch us. But Leicester could maybe catch us. That's the only cause for concern in terms of the goal difference column, because if we were to finish equal points with 18th, it would probably be Leicester City as well. So that's the little worry there. I just think it's sort of like bad that we're quite happy with a 3-0 defeat. I mean, I think it says a lot about us. I think it says a lot about Man City as well. I don't necessarily think it was a 3-0 game. I don't feel like we got battered by them. They deserved to win, of course they did. But I agree with you. I think the first half, thought we had a good performance, but I do feel City were not playing at their best kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that had to happen. If we were going to get anything tonight, we needed City not to be at their best. Otherwise, unfortunately, we were going to get beaten. Bear in mind that we didn't have perfect planning going into this one. I feared the worst. We played a lot better than I thought we would. Tactically, I thought we were playing very well. But the game stopped when Antonio went off the pitch. As soon as Mikel Antonio went off, that was it. And the worst thing is, it's not the first time we've seen this. Pretty much any time Antonio goes off and Danny Ings comes on the pitch, it's a game over at this point. Any time. And you can go back to the last 3-4 games, even games that we've won when that sub happens, it kills it. And any momentum, it's gone. We're basing our game on how Antonio plays, and we take off Antonio. It doesn't really work. And I'm scratching my head as to why he took on Ings and not Maxwell Cornet. I would have liked... I get why he took Antonio off. And like you said, Antonio looked fine. And Antonio looked a little bit peeved to be going off. I think he was a bit like, hang on a minute, Gaffer, I'm doing okay. But I got it. I got why he's taking Antonio off. But what I don't get is why he brought Ings on instead of Cornet. And what I also don't get is why he didn't take Bowen off at the same time then. If you're going to start resting players, you rest them. Not just one. Rest the other one as well. Get Bowen off the pitch at the exact same time. Because it almost feels a bit pointless leaving Jared Bowen on when Danny Ings is up front. Bowen's still going to have to do all the running. He's going to still have to run himself into the ground. But the likelihood of Jared Bowen impacting the game has got less now because the person next to him is completely ineffective. So I just don't understand why A, Cornet didn't come on, and B, Jared Bowen didn't come off at the same time and either put on Ben Rama, put on Lanzini or something. But it's a difficult one. Anyway, individual performers, take your pick.
I thought Emerson had a good game. Antonio, really good, really good. Antonio today, actually. I mean, there weren't a ton of great performances. Couple of nice saves.
I thought there was quite a few. I thought there was quite a few goals.
Well, not great. No, I said great. I think there was 5 decent performances. I don't think there was great. I think there was one who was stood up above the rest for me. But not great. I won't see him great. But Antonio was decent. And Antonio was a little spoiler. I thought Antonio was a 7 out of 10 for tomorrow's player ratings. And as I say, there were some good things to take out of that. I think that's the other thing. It's not like we got beaten 6-0 and then, everyone was terrible. That's really not what happened. Even someone like Fornals, who bless him, his mojo's gone, and he still really ran around a lot, and he tried hard. He couldn't.
Yeah, but Gonzo, come on. I'd expect you to run around and try hard if you had a game for West Ham.
I probably would. It wasn't. I didn't feel like the players down tools. Is what I'm saying. I thought they tried. It was. Bless him. I felt for him when he was that bit at the end where, he was in the box and a more creative player would have a little feint. They'll drop the shoulder. They won't just hit the defender with the shot. There was a time he tried to chip the goalkeeper, and it almost went out the stadium.
But that's what annoyed me, because what are you doing? Like, we're struggling to get the possession. He gets on the halfway line and decides to hit it from the halfway. It's just stupid. It's just
it is stupid. But I can't hold both things to be true. I can't believe. I can't accept the theory. I think it is a theory. I think it's a sound theory. I can't accept that theory that actually David Moyes has taken this creative player from Spain under 21s, and we've now found him, and he's 26, 27, or whatever he might be. And actually, Moyes has turned him into a defensive player. He's taken all that creativity out of him. I can't believe that. And then think, why didn't you chip the keeper? And why didn't you? I just think it's
but that's not creativity. That's stupidity. There's two completely different things there.
Okay, well, anyway, I think he's lost his mojo. All right, I think he's lost his mojo. Don't come back and argue back at me now and start telling me why I think Fornals is good. That's not what I'm saying. That's why I said I felt sorry for him. Bless him. I'm not going to sit here and say Fornals did well. I'm not. I just felt that they were trying. I really did. So. What can I say? I don't really. I wouldn't say it's 90 minutes you'll never get back, because I actually thought the 45 was was decent. But for the second 45, you might that was just it. We were just going to lose. You might as well have gone and make the kids pack lunches for tomorrow, or whatever the case may be. It just, you were watching a game of football unfold where there was only ever going to be one outcome, because we didn't have a sharp enough weapon to damage them.
Didn't have anything to damage them in the end. Just want to point you in the direction of our Patreon, patreon.com/Hammers Chat. If you want to get more Hammers Chat videos, including tomorrow, we'll be doing our player ratings, where we take an in-depth look at each player that started for West Ham tonight, as well as the manager. It's between 45 minutes and an hour long, so it's a really good, juicy video. But there's loads of content over there. Earlier on, I did a podcast with Anton Ferdinand to get his thoughts on the recent fixtures, and also where he basically says West Ham weren't tired against Crystal Palace. It was just the attitude was all wrong, and he gives his reasons why. And to be honest with you, it's difficult to disagree when he gives his reasons why. It's one of them you've got to just go, fair enough. Maybe it isn't fatigue. Maybe it's just attitude is the reason we've got beat at Selhurst Park. But you can join up from £3.60 per month. But like I said, you get all the content in return. But you don't just get that content. You get this content. Without Patreon, we wouldn't be doing a video every single day on both channels. So thank you very much to anyone who has subscribed. Massively appreciate it. And the start of the month is the best time to join up. So patreon.com/HammersChat. Link is in the description. As for my individual thoughts, the first 45, I thought Downs and Paqueta played really well, actually. I thought Paqueta had a good game. I thought there was lots of glimpses of his ability on show. His composure was really, really good. And at times, I couldn't help but think he wouldn't look out of place in the Manchester City team, actually. It was one of them. I thought, I wouldn't be surprised if Pep's looking at him thinking, I wouldn't mind a bit of that in my team. At times, he had two or three City players around him, and he was holding them off, wiggling away from them, doing his passing thing. Was it the perfect Paqueta? No, but it was a damn sight better than what we saw against Crystal Palace at the weekend. I thought Downs struggled at times, but I think that's because we're playing Man City. And credit to Pep, of course, tactically caused us problems by putting Grealish up against Soufal and Bernardo Silva going out there to help him out. We didn't really have an answer. Bowen couldn't come back because Nathan Ake is there, so Downs was having to try and get out and help out Soufal. It was a very difficult job for him tonight. Bear in mind how inexperienced he remains at this level, never mind against Man City, just at Premier League level. I thought he gave a good account of himself tonight, actually. I thought they played well. I thought Ogbonna, bar the error, had a decent game. I thought Antonio had a decent game as well. And I think we've both got the same man of match, actually. So any final words from yourself with your man of match, please?
Look, onwards and upwards. If there's anything, actually, that probably gave me a little bit more faith. Depends on this bug. We don't know about this bug. We don't know what's going on. Hopefully it is just an imaginary one, in which case they'll be absolutely fine. I tell you what, though, what I would say with that bug thing, it's a hell of a... I'm like this with conspiracy theories anyway. The thing with conspiracy theories, everyone's got to be in on it. And that's the biggest reason I think a lot of them are utter crap. So not only has it got to be, if this is a conspiracy theory and they're not actually ill, not only has everybody got to lie, but actually Souček and Rice and Agerd have not only got to agree to lie, but got to agree to go up to the coach, to the service station, and turn around halfway there. And I think they probably go, no, I'm not doing that at all. So but well, there you go. There's an additional conspiracy theory. So basically, they're going to have to agree to lie about it as well. So I think probably there's a bug. And as long as it's just one of them little short-term cheeky ones that was around a couple of weeks ago, a little 24-hour thing, then I actually have a little bit more optimism that actually we might be able to get a point against Man United. I think there was enough there in that first half to think actually we might be able to do something. But ultimately we got beaten, and by the better team, predictably. Man of the match, Thilo Kehrer.
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought he had a really good game. Lots of good position. Took a gamble with that tackle on Haaland, and I think very lucky. I think he gets a bit of the man before he gets the ball, but not enough to overturn it, kind of thing. And then saying that, I thought one was arguably worse when he jumped into John Stones. But a bit clumsy defending in the second half there. But I thought Thilo Kehrer had a really, really good game as well. So shall we leave it there?
Yeah, I think so, mate.
If you've enjoyed this review, please do drop a like on it by clicking the thumbs up button underneath the video. Subscribe if you're new to Hammers Chat. And like I said, if you fancy checking out Patreon, head to patreon.com/Hammers Chat, or check out the link below. Myself and Gonzo will be live tomorrow morning at some point where we'll be discussing all the players that were involved tonight. And hopefully we'll see you over there.